Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ingenia Titan. We're here on South Coast and I'm in the Hammer. South Coast is always a bit of an awkward thing to tackle from the southern spawn because you have too many options and too many ways you can go. Although not all of them are equally viable. Personally, I'm generally in favour of attacking up the zero line. However, the team doesn't always cooperate with that, and it didn't look like that's what they were going to do, so I thought I might head into the centre and use the accuracy and long range of the gun on the Tiger for some medium range shooting up into the central locations there and kind of see how things pan out before I commit to any particular course of action. So I'm heading up here. There's Panther coming up with me, and a lot of heavy tanks seem to be heading actually for the coastal route. Now the coastal route is a kind of a viable corridor, but it's easily defendable, and it takes quite a while to develop, for anything to develop along the coastal route. However, if you succeed on the coastal route, you can actually have quite a few options then afterwards if you get into the northern end of the town, or up into that gap on A1. So with a KV-3 in the town, and I just don't have the gun repression. The terrain is against me here. I'm not far back enough. Meanwhile, another tank has popped up in the central ridge there, and I can just about get gun depression on him here without exposing too much of my tank. I don't, as far as I know, have Sixth Sense in this crew, so I'm not necessarily sure whether I'm spotted or not. It is something I don't often do in heavy tanks. Well, a lot of these crews are low on the skill levels, but I don't prioritize Sixth Sense in heavy tanks, on the basis that a lot of the time, if your heavy tank's doing the heavy tank role, you're going to be spotted anyway, and Sixth Sense is isn't a priority skill. Therefore, I will probably put it on later on. Generally with the Russians I haven't bothered with it until very late in the game. But in the other tanks I probably would maybe put on a 4th or 5th, 6th skill maybe. I usually go for the gun handling ones first. Speed up the aim time, reduce the bloom when the tank is moving, or when the turret is moving, like Smooth Ride and Snapshot. Now I've turned around and come back this way because enemy tanks are deploying out of this side of the map, and well, we've got a decent amount of cover in this valley here. We've nothing in the valley beyond, and I think the valley beyond is well worth watching, because while everybody's shooting at this IS, who knows who could be coming up the other road. Now I just take the opportunity to shoot at the IS because I was well back and everybody else was doing it, but just using the reload and just coming back up, because my feeling is that there's a good chance of somebody coming up around this corner. Now I'm on my own, so this is also a problem, because if there is somebody coming up this corner, I'll be isolated facing them, and if there's more than one on the ridgeline below, that's going to be a problem. So there's a Tiger 131 there. We haven't managed to do any damage to him yet. That one's gone into the tracks as well, and we've spotted a T-39, and there's another Tiger 1 coming through the village. So I should be able to get a shot on the Tiger 1 here as he comes out from behind the buildings. I've been joined by someone. They're blocking my retreat more than anything else, and they seem to have gone away now again. Or are they still here? They're still here. That Tiger is going to try and engage me, and we have a problem here because we're both roughly the same rate of fire, and we're both going to do roughly the same amount of damage, but he's missed a few more shots than I have, so I should win this fight. He's done a bit of damage that time, but he's doing more damage to tracks and stuff than anything else. So we're knocking him down, we're chipping him away there, and the Tiger 131 has joined him now. 2 versus 1 would be, well, very dangerous. In fact, the Tiger 131 is very dangerous on its own, and the Su-14-1, just the Russian artillery, removed most of my health there. I did not initially realise that that was an artillery strike that did all that damage. I thought I wasn't too sure what I thought. I thought maybe there was another tank further back that had hit me along with the 131. However, we're potentially in trouble now because he's up here and he's probably going to do more damage more often than I can. So I'm backing up hoping to find allies, and which I do. So the allied tank goes around and basically finishes off the 131 now. I didn't expect them back up here straight away. Thought I'd get around him before he was backed up, but he there's a T-29 over here, and I thought at this stage he didn't know that I was here, but I'm detected probably as soon as I fire, and I thought that might be artillery, so I tucked in here to the side of the hill, and then I pushed forward to see if I can get a shot on that T-29, finish him off, which I do, and we're winning well at this point, and I'm just changing my direction to get out from behind the rock to deal with the remaining tanks when artillery drops another one, and that's the end of my game. 2 hits from that particular artillery in a short space of time is a bit ironic because it's not an artillery that is very accurate. Normally you're lucky to land it in the same postal district, and now I'm going to waste a lot of time sending a message to that guy for a nice shot. However, we don't want to waste time watching me fumbling with the messaging interface on the Xbox One, and we just look straight at the results where I got a 2nd class mastery, came 2nd by experience. Nothing else remarkable really. So that was a fun game up to its abrupt end, and I thought I was going to do a lot better. That I had a couple of remaining tanks and I could probably shoot at them from long range. However, that wasn't the way it worked out. Artillery did for me, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you again soon.